So the second part of this, I want to do like the why and the core stuff. And like I said, we didn't have any on the ball tight end, but I don't know if it particularly matters, especially if when you watch the Cincinnati stuff, it all kind of looks the same. The good thing is 2x2, wind the core is the same thing as 3x1, wind the core alignments wise. And here you can see the ghost structure play out a little bit easier than you can open sets, right? Because then open sets will not exist. So talking about 2x2, Y off, right? This is where they will be if they are in that 30% of the time, that odd ghost huddle call. Okay. So you have both these guys. You have a 3-2 box. Okay, they're gonna pull to the tight end. So you'd be like a 10 and a 50 to the tight end, wherever he is. And you have two of these, you want to call them safeties, where you want to call these guys like overhangs that are 7 yards, and they're usually 1 yard outside, 2 yards outside the box. Okay, so he'll be 2 yards outside tight end. He has no tight end, 2 yards outside tackle, somewhere in there. And these guys are ultimately in the fit, they're just really slow to it. These guys will gum it up. 5 interior guys will gum up inside, and these guys will come make the tackle late for 3-4 yards, right? They don't care about having like a high TFL. This is not like a TFL defense, right? This is a bleed you dry, make you drive the ball down and hand the ball off over and over and over and not get to throw the RPOs. So base wise, they're playing cover 1 out of this. They're playing a little bit the 2 Tampa stuff we saw earlier, and they're playing the 3 hot, 3 blitz zone stuff out of this structure. But it was designed to stop the RPOs. The AAC where Cincinnati is, a lot of it's Tulsa, it's Houston, it's SMU, it's all the teams, it's Memphis, it's all those teams that throw a lot of RPOs and a lot of spread to run elements. So that's where this thing is. That's where he lived in. That's what he brought with him to Notre Dame. And once again, they're in this going into the game 30% of the time, this structure. Okay. 4 down being 50% of the time, and then 3-4 being the other 20%. The principles, though, and allow, we can speed through this process pretty quickly. Traditional 4 down, cover 1, nothing we haven't seen. So they will funnel, what we call funnel it, or 3/2, a Y off the ball. All right, so he's your post guy. We have a 3/2 in here. Right, so you can take advantage of putting 2 to the side, like we talked about earlier, and getting some good leverage. But they will try to funnel it in any sort of Y-off situation. But 4 down, you got Foskey, the adjuster, the Viper, as they call him, playing boundary D end again. Okay, on the last clip, since it was the odd ghost, he'd be a boundary inside linebacker player. Wisconsin has some good run game stuff. Go back and watch them, it would be good. So this is what was a little bit scary for us, because we lived in so much Y-off stuff, is, they're in the triple, when they ended up pressuring the linebackers, so it was a little different, but let's say they didn't pressure the back. Let's say they didn't bring him. Okay, they played the normal triple rat stuff. What scared us is they were able, especially 2x2, by him standing right there, they essentially are bracketing who is by far our best player, Josh Downs, without calling bracket, right? You're inside, outside, leverage, even though he's not responsible for any sort of man carry on him, his body presence allows him to bracket that guy. Now they get the back out strong, so you drain him, helps. Okay, but that was an issue for us, is then be able to sit in this, take advantage of our center nose matchup, and sit there with that guy at 7 yards and take away Josh Downs on the glance routes. Not only that, with him so far inside, you're allowing this guy to kick way outside and really get some good leverage on the out breaking routes as well. And on top of that, you got a post player over top of everything. So Cincinnati wanted to pressure the back a lot of times in this structure. So I was saying earlier, anytime the adjuster 7, 9, 12, the Viper is inside linebacker, I would slide to him, because more than likely he is coming. If anybody's coming, he is going to be involved in the pressure. Now it might be both of them. It might be multiple guys, but they're never going to bring somebody else and not him. Okay, so he's for sure coming if somebody's coming. So here they did a good job of staying at double fives, right? Earlier they tipped it off by having a 4-eye 0-5 away from the pressure. Here they have 5-0-5, so it's harder to see it pre-snap. They flop the back here. No, they're seeing pointing them out. I'll see if they flop the back. There's a couple of Cincinnati where they flop the back to their side and you see everybody moving, or the two inside guys moving with it. So this is what we're saying is a 3-4, right? Because you have the adjuster, the Viper playing on the ball linebacker or off the ball linebacker, but it's a 3-4 structure. Quarters, field pressure 3, field pressure 2 are the calls out of this. Okay, now 9 should carry, right? He's the flat player. Any flat player is the wheel of 2. He busts. Thank goodness they get there, but this is especially with him on the ball like he's here. Okay, let's go back. This is the one I'm talking about. All right, field pressure 3. He only came 3 times, even when he was on the ball. I think he only came like 1 of the 9 times he was on the ball. Talking about the adjuster, the boundary guy. Okay, so I expect field pressure. Field pressure 3. Three, 4 structure, 20% of the time. With him as the adjuster. So here is, let me make sure. Yep, so here's the what we're calling the Duke pressure, or the pressure they called against Cincinnati for the first time. Okay, really good pressure stop zone read games. Based off the back, it's out of 4 down. 3 will be to the back. The end to the back, take the dive. The tackle to the back, take the quarterback on zone read, and the linebacker away from the back off the edge. All right, so it's a 100% back dependent pressure. Okay, it's always cover 1 behind it. Really good pressure stop zone read. Gave us some issues. Well, we thought we game planned it. And it did give us some issues, but it really shouldn't, because you should be able to get out of it with understanding that it's always cover 1 behind it. So an RPO or something, a double call you'll be okay. All right, really good pressure against Cincinnati with all the how athletic Ritter was. Go structure again. So this one doesn't play out. This is a cover 1 variation, right? This is a they insert 27 back into the interior of the box against USC, which is hard from an ID standpoint. Ends up being like a 3-3 stack with that field overhang safety guy still playing the glance. You can see him right there playing the glance, because he gets really a run read here and he doesn't budge. So that's how they're fitting it with those overhang safety kids. Right, they're gonna flat foot it and sit right there and take the glance away. Make you hand it. Really good look at the fit of how they're teaching the fit to be. So they end up essentially getting the bear. This is very Cincinnati-ish last year, right? They're gonna get the bear with 27 as now the new Mike linebacker. Really hard from my D standpoint. You see he will be unblocked. Anytime he comes back inside into the interior of the box, it's hard ID. Good call against these guys. Go structure. This might be the one I was referencing earlier where they were trying to hit the speed out. This is really early in the game. And there's no film of this playing this robber technique to the field. You see it play out really well. The nickels are already outside leverage at 2, right? So it could be a bracket. These guys didn't play bracket. They never showed this at all, this look period. You have that ghost box structure at 3-2 plus the tight end, the linebackers, double safety overhang. And you have Kyle Hamilton in the post, right? So it looks like the man free stuff. Post snap against the quarter half, or the robber invert 2, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it still ends up being the same drop 8 stuff. So you see Keen Slovis goes to throw the speed out, which should be there based off how they play the corners and man so far inside and off, right? So you like speed outs. This is a really good way to take that away. Okay, have the nickel reroute 2 and then go sprint underneath 1, or here, if 2 declares itself dead already, just go out to number 1 right now. And then play robber with the safety over 2, taking 2 up and in. So this is what they do. They push the pocket, right? They're not dynamic rushers by any stretch, but they do push the pocket and they condense it. So you hear 7 being Foskey. This is how they get away with asking them to do so much, is they make it very simple, right? So it's spot drop zone, back straight down the hash at 10 yards and settle. Right? We're not asking you to power and match or read guys or anything. You're the extra overlap guy here. Just pedal straight back. We have matchers everywhere else, so we're okay just to lose him on that. 4 down, expecting cover 6, expecting pressure 3, expecting a little bit of 1. Okay, here's the 4-3-4 stuff. So obviously man's out the window with the nickel being a true linebacker. You're more into the quarters world. Here you see the cover 6 variation. If back was on the other side, you'd see a TE more than likely to get the ball out there. Four down world is the world we're all accustomed to. It's the one we definitely want to see them call the most, right? Because it's pretty static. And you do have the cross dog stuff that is scary, but generally it's pretty good. These guys hit him on same side zone quite a few times. It was a good run for him. Probably like 3 or 4 efficients on this. I don't know if it's correlation or causation, but it's a good play for him. Four down structure, we have back away from the boundary, so I'm expecting cover 6. I'm expecting a TE to that side to force the corner, to force the ball out to the corner. So this is a way if you want to get the ball on the perimeter, you can, because they are on zone read, they're going to force the give unless you have a tight end coming back across, right? Because they're a spill team. So if you want a quarterback to keep it to get the ball on the edge, you'd have the tight end split zoning back across or leading, wherever you call bluffing, right? It's a good way to get the pull. You see a good TE backside away from the back, cover 6, expect the TE. 7 would be unblocked in the hole, and also maybe the corner out there as well. Good 4 down play for him. Four down structure. Cover 6. Possibly. Froze up here. All right, should be back. All good here. Okay. 4 down. If it's not man, I'm expecting 6. And when it's 6, core half, I'm expecting a TE. You see it start to play out here, I believe. 4 down structure, the adjusters that bounded the end. No stunt because back's away. I'm sorry. Tough play for how much they leverage the tight end with the backers, right? Because they're going to boss and bow based off tight end location in the box. Ends up being okay. It's just not something you want to live with. You have a receiver blocking a roll up corner at the point of attack and a tight end having an arc block to a linebacker who's at least head up. It's just tough leverage to make that play work. What we got here? 4 down quarters. So this is interesting. I haven't gotten to the FIB stuff, but when we play in, they're 100% field boundary. So we really liked the some of the matchups you can get going FIB and stuff because they're gonna leave the nickels to the field. That's what we thought, at least going into it, is their 100% field boundary. Be interesting to see if the nickel being out there changes a lot of things for them. So this is, this is something we worried about them doing to us, is especially being at their place, is shifting and stemming. They didn't do it a ton, but you see them going from 4 down, boundary where 7's on the ball, right to the 3-4 structure, and then playing drop 8 quarters behind it. So shifting and stemming is something, especially Cincinnati shows up a lot. We didn't see it. maybe a couple reps, but it wasn't a huge issue. Corner pressure 3 fire zone. Nothing you haven't seen at 4 down. Very common. Back to the ghost look. So here you see what the 2 Tampa looks like out of Y off, right? Y on the core. You've just over rotated. They're gonna rotate to the boundary here. Here, cloud, your overhang safety to the boundaries, running to the middle runner. Deep half, flat guy, true flat zone dropper, and then wick 2. So this is a drop 8 coverage form. I forget the exact percentage. It was enough to worry about. I know that. And it was hard because it looked identical. Like that's exactly where they'll all be for cover 1 for the 3 pressure coverages out of this. Like it's good defense. Good defense. It is so good because it counteracts with their weaknesses and all the single high stuff. Having cloud corners on both sides, or flat guys, I should say, on both sides is what makes it go. It's enough to worry about for sure, enough to rep. You can see backers alignment, 10 and a 50 to the tight end. So this could be 2x2 or 3x1. There's go Boston bow to the tight end. Obviously they're short in the run fit here. With 27 going as the middle runner, the corner to show up. It's hard. It's a hard play to defend. It's hard. You just don't know when it's coming. Like they did a good job of indicator wise. All right, so here's a good look. 3-4. Drop 8 quarters. Field pressure 3. Field pressure 2. It's a good job. They should ultimately. It's a really good job at tight end. Because really, 40 should be free to make the tackle. Pushing the combos of 7 and 27, whoever that is. D end does a bad job getting cut out of the C gap, B gap with pressure. 40 should rock back. They should kick out. Ultimately, the nickel come off the edge, and 40 should be unblocked in the hole. 3 deep 400, just bringing the opposite guy. Same play out of 4 down. Okay, now he has a true fire zone because you're bringing 5. This is pretty rare. It's not like a huge part of what they do out of 4 down. It wasn't enough. It's actually a bad idea by the front. They should make this thing back. But it's enough to worry about. Let's go 2 off the edge, right? 1 for the running back, 1 for the Q. You'd hope you could see this thing and mic it all back and sit on it and be a gash, but they don't. The boundary safety does a good job holding a shell before going back to the post. But 4 down, field pressure 3. It's seen it 100 times. This is stuff in 4 down that scared us the most is all the interior plug stuff because linebackers say it with good speed, especially in gap schemes. Bringing both those guys in some kind of configuration, right? Here they bring the guy to the back first to double A gap pressure. They done it both ways. This is scary in any sort of gap scheme where you're pulling the center's back block and you have massive A gap run throughs. Right, and they're playing 3 deep 200 behind it. So the good thing is it's the same defenses in all the formations. It's just getting used to looking at such a weird picture. Like this is different than anything else right here. Sorry, we skip the head there. Here's a 3 deep 200 just out of the ghost structure. Right, it's tough. Start pushing combos and people are crisscrossing and just creating havoc, right? And just layers of havoc because behind this layer you have 3 coming down. Right, so you have guys to fix people's mistakes up front. You're just layering different people on top to fix mistakes. Battery on computer's dying. So this is just a different pressure pattern. So there's this at a 3-4 one. So this is rare because they didn't do a lot of this at a 3-4 look, but they brought 6. So this is good. By looping 7 back inside, you have a good B gap player. You have cross dog, or you have what we call field Abbey, a B gap crosser to the field to cut off the zone. Really good 1 to the back to cut the zone off, and play 3 deep 200 behind it. So just how many different pressure patterns are you willing to practice against on 3 deep 2 under? Because they'll have them, and they'll have a different one you ever practice against. Really good one to the back. I find this might be one. Come on, over rotate. So good one to talk about here, and I'll go through by one while my computer dies. Right, so here it looks like 1, 3, 4. So I'm expecting field pressure 3. Based off alignments, right? We got a short chain here between the nickel and the safety. We have a middle field line guy. I'm like, good. Anytime they aligned in it like this, it was over rotation 2. Bringing 2s off the edge, wick 2, and flat guy. So anytime they start in quarters, out this 3-4 look, anytime they start in quarters, it's either quarters or it's nickel fire 3. Anytime they showed nickel fire 3, because they're pre-rotated, anytime they showed this short leash, pre-rotation in the field, anytime they showed nickel fire 3, it was the 2 fire zone with 2 off the edge and keep rotating to the deep path. Right, so 2 high shell, expect quarters at a 3-4, expect quarters or 3. Anytime they show the 3 fire, anytime they show the 3 pressure, expect the 2 fire zone, right? Because they're trying to get you into a 3 call. So here you see any sort of 1 behind 2 concept, 2 vertical, 1 on a slant, 1 on a glance. There's nothing left underneath it. I'm gonna try to buzz through this really quick. We're in 4 down, man free. The boundary player's gonna try to, the boundary safety's gonna hold his shell. Okay, you can see it here. There's this token run fake, but they're good. This would the Y off RPO game to the slot scary because they're able to still get some sort of cover down on the slot with this guy so far outside the box, the field safety, the field roll down player. They got better at defending this kind of stuff as the season went on. Boundary post safety is going to stay on the hash a lot of times, scan the 4 down stuff to make it look like quarters, right? You're trying to make, anytime you're not in the ghost structure, you're trying to start in a quarters world and then rotate off of that is the general thing. Right, we're still in a 3/2, a sort of man. We have all 3 of these guys like this. They're all responsible for the tight end and running back. And these guys didn't add on, so it wasn't a huge issue. They just dropped in the post. So you want 24 to pedal with a little bit more speed there to take away the glance. Ghost structure 3-on-1 looks the same as 2x2. And they're playing triple rat cover 1 here. So this is like the base. This is the day 1 call right here. Is ghost triple rat, or I don't know what they call it. What we call is ghost triple rat. Really not spend this one out pretty good. They're going in 50-10 to the tight end. And just kind of muck it up and have 27 come down and fit, right? You want 7 to be inside this blocker, 7 to be in the A gap. Ultimate spits, but you still have a post safety behind it. That was the whole thing. Like Cincinnati's rush defense is so good because they had so many layers. You had the front, you need the 2 linebackers, and you need the 2 overhangs, and then finally have the post safety. So you just keep adding layers to make things right. And that thing's supposed to run to like 10 yards and they get to the post. It's just hard to have explosive against them. Here's one you see him flipping, right? This Cincinnati is a pressure to the back team. Pressure to the back team against Cincinnati. About the dial. I'll finish on that one right there. Computer's about to die. Right, you see them flipping alignments. 9 being the adjuster. The Viper is the one they want to bring on the pressure. I think I'm gonna end on that one for the old computer dies here. So I can upload this thing. What we got here? 4 down. Oh, here it is. Last one, I promise. Cover 6. Core halves. Right, to the back, you want TE. If you're away from the back, you come in. I'll just record this. If you're away from the back, you want to TE it. If you're to the back here, you want to ET it. Or ultimately, we'll call split zone against this. They do a good job of gumming it up inside. It was only a 4 down cover 6, so you could double call things to make it a little bit easier on yourself and avoid these issues. Go structure. Ends up being the robber coverage, okay? They push the flats pretty well. Playing cover 4 to both sides, but the cover 4 robber they're able to use against USC, okay? We didn't see it a ton, but it definitely scared us. Really good job of the 2 player here being the safety on the hash. He has 2 up, he has 2 in. 2 goes out, he's right to the flat player, right? So get your eyes up and look up the new number 1. Really good rep there. Really good rep of the nickel. Is a drop 8 coverage. And you see here the adjuster being the Viper 9 is not asked to do a whole lot. 3x1 base alignment, it will be to the boundary because he's protected by the backside overhang. 2x2, he's to the field overhang to help him. Right, because they're always trying to protect number 9. Anytime they're not in those alignments, I would expect pressure. But you can always be safe and always slide it to the adjuster if he's an interior backer. All right, so I'm gonna end this thing there. Hope that helps, my man.